Thanks to Daniel for that report. And another round of talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. set to take place this week. In the meantime, Ukraine says Russia is escalating the war with continued strikes. Here's more on that.
Trilateral talks between Russia, Ukraine, and the U.S. are set for this Wednesday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy confirmed yesterday that his team would be on their way to the United Arab Emirates.
There is already an agreement on a meeting, a trilateral meeting at the appropriate level. This meeting will take place next week, as planned, on Wednesday and Thursday in the Emirates, like last time.
In a post on X, Zelenskyy said Ukraine is ready for a substantive discussion with the goal of moving closer to a dignified end to the war. He said he expects the U.S. delegation will push for de-escalation.
We expect that the American side will be just as active, and in particular, this concerns de-escalation measures, reducing strikes. A lot depends on what the American side will succeed in so that people trust both the process and the results, of course.
U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff said he held productive meetings on Saturday with Russian envoy Kirill Dmitriev in Florida. He was joined by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, White House senior advisor Josh Grunbaum, and Jared Kushner. Zelensky's comments came after Ukraine's emergency services said a Russian drone strike killed 12 mine workers in the city of Dnipro. Officials said the strike hit a bus owned by Ukraine's largest private energy company. The company called the incident a large-scale terrorist attack. Zelenskyy commented on the attack, accusing Russia of trying to escalate the conflict.
Today's Russian attack on a bus in the Dnipro region is a crime, a brazen crime, which once again demonstrates that Russia is responsible for the escalation. Evil must stop.
Hours earlier, authorities reported that Russian drones injured 6 people at a maternity hospital in southern Ukraine. Meanwhile, residents of Kyiv say they are still struggling with ongoing power and heating cuts. This comes after the Kremlin said it agreed to temporarily stop targeting energy infrastructure at the request of President Trump.
To be honest, it doesn't feel like it, because there are still problems. There is no electricity and no heating. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, and right now it's difficult.
The mayor of Kyiv said around 1,000 apartment buildings remained without heating yesterday. Temperatures in the city hovered at around 5 degrees as workers raced to restore heating. Meanwhile, Elon Musk says moves by SpaceX to stop unauthorized Russian use of its internet system, Starlink, seem to have worked. Kyiv's military relies on tens of thousands of satellite-based Starlink internet connections for battlefield communication and for piloting some drone missions. It said last week that it found Starlink terminals on long-range drones used in Russian attacks. SpaceX has maintained it does not sell or ship Starlink to Russia, and does not do business of any kind with the Russian government or its military. Ukraine's defense minister said Kyiv was developing a system that would allow only authorized Starlink terminals to work on Ukrainian territory.